guys, today is Thursday, April 20th, and we're going to take a look at the pretty much the week, the recap for the Euro USD. Not much has gone on this week, although in the beginning of the week, we did have this nice pullback for the last 2 days. So, yeah, as you can see, there's not really much action going on right now. We use the replay tool. I think this is where I left off last week. This was on a Thursday, so the next day on Friday, we had that pretty decent pullback. Nothing major, although there was finding some type of support towards the end of the day, and then coming to the start of the week, we had that nice move down, which I expected a pullback, but I wasn't really looking for any type of you know anything bigger than maybe 20%. But obviously it went much lower than that. But I still kept my long positions over at I think 1.1.085. I think I have my two long positions, and this kind of although even though I moved my stops up, I still was watching this to make sure that we start moving lower towards that entry price. But worst case scenario, that was going to be a break even trade, even though it was up about around 240 pips, a little over 240 pips for the last time. But we ended up recovering a bit the next day. And then once we ended up kind of like testing this really small support zone here on the daily. And then now we're pretty much, I mean, there's no action going on besides maybe today was a slight green day. Today we had, I think, unemployment numbers, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, it's not really nothing's going on right now. Only thing to do really is just to remain patient and wait to see what the market's going to do tomorrow and going into next week. Right now, even looking at the weekly chart, you can see that we have uh, maybe a couple of weeks. Let's say about 1, 2, 3, 4, depending on what happens tomorrow. This could be 5 straight weeks to the upside, or tomorrow we start pulling back or end up flat. Right? Who knows? But right now there's nothing really going on, and that's going to happen sometimes when it comes to the markets. There's just not going to be any trades to be taken or any moves to take place. It's just one of those things where you just have to just be patient and wait to the next day or the following week if you don't have any trades to go by, right? So you always want to be as patient as possible. And like I said, I think I mentioned something in my last video that something about patience, and I have a YouTube video on my channel describing the 7 reasons why elite forex traders crush the competition, and that was the title of the video. And this is a great example. I mean, it just comes down to being patient and letting the market do what it's going to do. Actually, I did open up a long yesterday. I believe was 1.0970. I opened the long right up here, and still. So right now I have 3 positions, although these positions down here are much bigger than this position here. But going back to what I was saying, being patient in the market is just one of those things where there's nothing to do. Um, the market's going to move when it's going to move. And tomorrow, who knows? We might get a big move down and I close positions, or might get a decent move up, and the market, continues in the direction that we're looking for. I'm still looking for 1.11 to see what happens up here. That was my original target, or the first target. But if you look back at the last video I made, there's a reason why I'm looking for 1.15 on the longer time frames, and this is why I'm looking forward to see what happens in this zone right over here. Right, we start heading up higher to 1.11. I want to see how the market reacts. If we don't make it up there, then we'll just have to reevaluate and see what the market's going to do going forward. But right now, it's all a patience game, and really, it looks like we're going to end up going into next week potentially flat as of right now. Again, we have one more day of trading tomorrow, but you can see if I zoom into these candles, I mean, not much going on here. It's just completely sideways. Even though we had this nice one move up here, a nice move here, and even though this move was actually slightly choppy, even though the direction was to the upside, you can see that what I mentioned in one of my other videos, that the market can go in your direction, but we just don't know how it's going to get there. Sometimes it's a straight move, sometimes it's going to be choppy, sometimes it's going to be, very, very slow. It's going to be a crawl to get to uh, that destination, right? So you could see this move up and then down, right? Up, slight down over here, another up move, then it comes down sideways. Well, not really sideways, but it makes a move to the downside, pulls back, and then we have this up move here, and now pull back, now sideways. So I understand it can be very frustrating. That's why so many people are, so many traders are really attracted to the high volatility, pairs. For example, the British pound against the yen, right? GJ. A lot of people like that pair because it moves. However, sometimes it can move extremely violently against you, and it definitely spells a lot of trouble. So I like the stability of the Euro USD. It's the most liquid pair. It's easier to read, in my opinion, and you only need one pair really to make a good amount of money. So for all we know, this market just slides down, and it just the Euro USD, it goes sideways for a little while, and then continues up nicely in the coming days, or we get a pullback and the market comes down to test these zones over here. So we'll just have to see what happens, and I'll see you guys in the next video, probably more than likely next week, and see how the euro develops tomorrow and how it goes into the beginning of next week. So I'll see you guys later.